Thank you, Joe. Good afternoon. Joe did mention that I'm based in Beijing in China, so this unusual time for me to speak. Nobody speaks at 4 o'clock in the morning, not even for a Chinese. So I'm going to try. So even if I'm going to make mistakes, it's not me, it's the jet lag. And I'm also going to need some water here. I do have a cracked voice right now. It's not because I have been singing karaoke all night, but my apologies. This is all the travels I've been doing. Now, I have got a few slides here I would like to share with you. I'm going to go through Sadara and the joint venture company with Saudi Aramco, those colleagues here. We are going to build in the kingdom. I'm going to introduce you briefly about Dow Chemical, what we do, and scale of operation. I'm going to talk about the value proposition of Sadara to the both parent company and also maybe for the kingdom. And I'm going to touch upon the project itself. And I'm going to leave you with the slides on the concluding slide remarks at the end. Now, first of all, okay, Dow Chemical, who are we? We are one of the major players in the chemical industry. We are 114 years young, I would like to say, and we are a technology and science and technology-based company. We have operations in 35 countries, and most of those assets are in North America, in here, and most of them are in the south, in Houston area and in Louisiana area, but we also have our original plant, 114 years old, some of them in Midland, Michigan, and that's also where the headquarters is. And some of those plants are in Europe, and we have big assets, operational assets in Far East as well, and we have about 40 sites in China, which is the place where I come from. Now, we have about 50,000 people and trying to operate those plants and also selling into 160 countries worldwide. And most of those products go into Indeed and North America and in Europe and also in Asia Pacific. And roughly is about one third what we are doing there. Now, in the revenue of Dow last year has exceeded $50 billion US. The most important thing actually on this slide is that we are having 90 joint ventures worldwide, and so we are not new to any joint ventures, and that I think is one of the reasons that we partner with the Saudi Aramco here in Sadara. Let me talk about Sadara now. Sadara is a joint venture between Dow and Saudi Aramco, and let me take you through the journey that we've gone through with Sadara. It all started with an MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, in May 2007, and I think some of you might have already involved in that project from that point in time from Saudi Aramco. Now, the project originally was called RTIP and Res to Nura Integrated Project, and some of you might still remember that. And we signed the Memorandum of Understanding to do a FEED, front-end engineering and design, to take us through the process. And by the end of 2009 and beginning of 2010, we had an extensive review about the project, and I myself, together with Saudi colleague, were leading that review process, which led to the conclusion that we might need to do something with the product mix, optimize it. And one of the most important conclusions we had was to move the project from Res to Nura to Jubail. Now, I will come back to Jubail later and why that's a good move. And quickly, people very often ask me the question, why are you doing this project? for Dow. Now, I think there are many, many, many reasons why Dow is in this project. Now, I'm not going to name them all, and I would like to share 4 elements with you. The first of all is, from Dow point of view, worldwide operation, well-established player in the chemical industry, and we have the expertise, and we have the management tool, and we have the reputation to do it well. And combined with, I think, Munir and Khalid, you have been talking about that a lot, we combine with the strengths of Saudi Aramco, with the upstream assets, the experience you have there in managing the feedstock and all that kind of things. We think it's a win-win combination for all of us to do a big project in the kingdom. Now, secondly, I think with the experience that the Dow has, based on the science and technology we have been developing for past 100 years, and we are in very good position to develop a product slate, product mix, to satisfy the 2 things. One is to satisfy our transformation for Dow from a commodity-based chemical company into a specialty-based chemical company. That's a part of our strategy that fits perfectly into that transformation journey that we are undertaking right now. And secondly, we also believe that the product mix that we are having right now meets the kingdom's need. Is going to help Saudi Aramco as well in their product offering. We'll come back to that later. Location now. When somebody is buying a property, I think the most important thing will be location. Location again. Location, I would say that's the same case for Sadara. We do expect that the growth of chemical market is going to be actually 4 places. The Far East, that is going to be 40 to 50% of our market is going to go east. And the Eastern Europe is coming up. And also to the west, we have Africa. We do expect that it's going to be a growth engine as well in probably a little bit longer term, but don't forget Middle East. And Sadara is perfectly positioned to serve all those growth engines. And combined with the Dow's, the traditional assets that we have in North America here, and in Asia Pacific, and in Europe, and this makes perfect sense for us to do it. And last but not least, we're all here to make money. I'm not ashamed to say that. The project has good fundamentals to do it. If you look into the value proposition, and if you look into the return numbers, and we do believe that this project is going to contribute a lot to Dow's bottom line. Now, I also believe it's going to contribute a lot to Saudi Aramco, although I understand you are talking about different numbers. Okay, from Dow's point of view, people ask me, what is the value proposition of this project to Saudi Aramco, to the kingdom? Now, I'm not going to call them all. I think the most important thing here is probably top on the list, is the diversification strategy. I think this project builds on the strong basis that you have in gas and oil and gas industry, take all of us and take you, Saudi Aramco and the kingdom, down into the downstream business further. And also, I would like to point out is number 2 here, the job creation. We are going to have thousands and thousands of jobs associated with the Sadara project itself. Now, I forgot the number, but somebody told me that at the peak of construction, we are probably talking about tens of thousands of jobs being created. Now, combined with the value part, and again, that is conversion partner in Dow's term, and that is going to create even more business and jobs for the kingdom. And I think the last but not least is the value and the knowledge exchange here. I think with Sadara as platform, for Dow to bring in our knowledge and expertise in chemical industry and combined with Saudi Aramco's project management and other expertise. And this is an excellent platform for us to learn from each other, to exchange information, and to grow together. Quickly about Sadara project itself, I think some of you may have already learned a lot from presentation from my Saudi Aramco colleague in the previous session here, Nabila. Thank you for sharing that as well. It is going to be one of probably the biggest single-phase project on Earth. We are going to have indeed, Nabila, 26 plants, world-scale plants running in parallel, and we are going to build that in one go. We are expecting the project to have the first startup in 2015, and then the whole project will be completed in 2016. And again, indeed, it's going to produce around 3 million tons a year of product, which, again, part of that is going to go to the east. About 40 to 50% of that is going to move to China and around China. Quickly about Jubail now, and again, I said part of our decision in end of 2009, early 2010, was to have this project move to Jubail. Now, I'm actually not the right person to talk about Jubail, and last night I met with Dr. Ataibi, the CEO of Royal Commission of and Jubail and Yanbu, and he's actually the perfect person to talk about this. But what I would like to share with you is that we, as Dow and jointly with Saudi Aramco, came to the conclusion that with the infrastructures that Royal Commission has put together, with all the support that we are getting from the Royal Commission and the governments, Jubail is the ideal place to do business and to put down a project like this. So I will encourage all of you, if you have any plan to invest in Saudi Arabia, do consider Jubail 2, actually, in this case, as your site. Now, it has an excellent port facilities here, as you can see. It has a residential community next to it. It's just a wonderful place to be. Now, I would like to leave this slide with you, with my concluding remarks that we have an excellent partner in Saudi Aramco, and I've been negotiating with your colleagues, and sometimes could be tough. That is expected, but I do respect you. Thank you very much for support, Saudi Aramco. I also like to thank the ministries here for excellent guidance and leadership to guide us into the kingdom here, and the Royal Commission. Thank you very much for all the help. Thank you for your attention.